If you struggle with your mixes translating from the car to the studio to the phone, this video is for you. Hello and welcome to BusyWorksBeats.com. Today I'm going to show you a really simple 3-step process on how to make your mixes translate a little bit better. So what it comes down to is observing each critical band, I call it. So let's start with the low frequencies. I have Isotopes Ozone Imager open, and everything from 538 and below, I consider the lows, so to speak. Okay, so we're going to solo only those frequencies. And then if we have to boost or cut anything, we'll do that EQ boost while listening through the EQ band. So let's listen to the track before the EQ and before the isolation. So it's a guitar heavy track. Okay, now I'm going to turn on the low band and listen to what's happening. So I'm going to ask myself, can I hear the instruments just in the low band? I should be able to hear the vocals, the main instrument, and the drums in the lows. If I don't hear one of those things, I need to enhance that frequency within the instrument itself. I'm going to zoom to the part where it has vocals because it's a little more full.
You got an army and money in the background.
Okay, so while in this zone, I'm going to EQ or cut or boost things that need to be exaggerated. So let's figure out what I hear firstly, and then I'll get into... So I hear like, okay, so let's find that frequency. And let's make this smaller. I think we could do the Q. Let's do that. Okay, so it's at 400. I don't really like that frequency. It sounds a little like, okay, so let's just use the dynamic EQ to cut some of that out over time. Just to tame this area. So like if you don't understand the difference between dynamic EQ and compression, in short, dynamic EQ just takes sounds that go past a certain point. If they have too much energy, and it just pulls the energy down. Just think of it that way. Compressors do more than just pull the energy down. Okay, so that's the frequency I don't like. So now it's a little more tame. Okay, then we need to address the separation in the bass. Can we separate the sounds? If not, we're not going to make it overly EQ'd in the bass, the low end. Okay, so now we've addressed that band. Now we're going to move to the mid band. Now the mid band is from, what is this here? 98 hertz all the way up till 7.6. Now I know that's not the technical mid band, but I'm mirroring my Drummer MC 3.1 monitor controller. So that's where I'm getting these numbers from. Okay, so 98 hertz all the way up to 7.6. It's a pretty wide range, but this is what they consider the mid button on this specific piece of gear. So this is where the main mix lives. When people say it lives in the middle, this is what they mean. So it should be most pronounced here. And anything we can't EQ, you might want to think about compression to pull certain levels up. So if you notice, I boosted about 200 hertz. Most people are trying to exaggerate areas. In this case, I wanted to balance areas. So that was the area that was a little bit lacking in the balance.
the back, yeah, we bustin' Tommy's, you know we in the back, yeah, we got an army, you know we legit. We're buzzing on the army, you know that I'm the shit. We're busy in the army, you know we got the back.
So it's a little more flat in this zone.
We got an army.
Only until I move to all the bands do I consider going back to EQ for stuff that isn't flat. So let's move to the high band. And then I have to ask, is stuff too loud? So here's where I might introduce a de-esser, for example. Okay, this is the area that pretty much has the harsh frequencies that hurt my ear. So now we can boost, but going into the de-esser. There's a EQ I like called the SSL Violet EQ. That's a really good EQ. Okay, let's boost using a high cut or high shelf. Start at like 16K. All right, now let's take this band off. Now here's before. I'm going to make sure I level match too. So we're at about -2. Here's with the EQ. Okay, so I'm going to drop it 1 dB maybe. Let's A-B this. Okay, so here's before the EQ. Now this de-esser is still there. Actually, let's just turn the whole chain off. So here's before the entire chain. Now let's turn the chain on. So now what I'll do is turn the chain on and off. Right, so that is how you mix. Now that was a quick mix just using EQ and a little de-essing. I would take more time and reference my monitors and all this, but that's how a quick little guide on how you can make your mixes translate a little bit better, understanding that each sound should be present in both the lows, mids, and the highs. So let me solo these bands for one last reference. So again, the question is, can you hear each element in that specific band clearly?
Army,
Okay, so it's clear on all the bands. So that's a quick technique you can use. If you want to learn more, go to busyworksbeats.com. Actually, go to premium.busyworksbeats.com. I'll leave a link below. Thank you guys for watching. It's Game from busyworksbeats.com. Peace.